Today, doing a project for the Ford Ranger, putting on a tonneau cover. It's one of the tri-fold styles. It's actually by brand Undercover. It's the Undercover Flex. So it's pretty cool. It's got the ability, to flip it all the way up. The last part up to the cab doesn't touch the cab, but it gives you the maximum exposure to the bed, for putting stuff in it. Where some trifolds, as you know, don't. That last panel, doesn't raise, so you lose some of that bed space. Anyway, it's 98 degrees, gonna be 99 here shortly. Another hot day. It's a hot summer in Arkansas, like everywhere else. Record-setting stuff going on here, but gotta get your projects done, right? Anyway, so I'm trying to be on the side of the house here, out of the sun, but it's still got some exposed sun in the bed, so it's pretty hot. So I'll show you what I've got so far. All right. So this came by UPS, pretty good sized box, and that's the tri-fold part down there. That's one of the rails. I just put one of the rails on, and one of the first things you do is you put this weather seal on here. You're supposed to actually make it flush with the bulkhead here, but I'm not quite flush, but I think it'll be all right. Didn't catch that till after I put it down. There's a couple of seals that go up on. Yeah, got cut off there. There's a little seal that goes up, little rubber seal that goes up right in the corner here. And then one thing I noticed is, this is supposed to kind of mount flush to this little indention right here, but on each end you got a little plastic that kind of, you see how it raises it up just a little bit. Otherwise it's pretty flush all through here, and then it raised up over here as well. But I guess that's how it worked. This is what it looks like. It's pretty level, but not exactly level. And then there's these little clamp spots and a little rubber spacer thing. You're supposed to mount the clamp to that. Be sure to do that. If you don't, it won't hold it upright. But there's 3 clamps. Start with the middle, and you're not supposed to tighten it down till the end. And that's the rod that holds the panel up. All right, time to get the other rail up. Okay, so after I thought I was on my way with this project, I realized I had a page. They had a supplemental page for this Ranger, and I didn't really note that I was out of order with the page numbers. So I was working on page 4, mounting the side rails first. And it turns out page 3, you needed to mount there's these little brackets. You can't do it once you've mounted the rails, is pretty much what I found. So I had to take all the rails off, start over. So let's switch gears here and show you what I did. All right, so yeah, the brackets are, well, it's kind of hard to see, but there's this bracket that goes up there on the back here, and then there's another one. It goes up the front. Anyway, they had to slide up under the plastic cap, and then it helps stabilize the whole thing. It still doesn't mount totally flush, even though I held it down when I sort of tightened it. Haven't really tightened everything down yet. I'll wait till I get the top on. It's also good to put the arms down, because there's one clamp that goes right under the arm, and to use a socket, you kind of need it. You need it down. This one I probably need to loosen it and push it down just a little bit. Anyway, it's 100 degrees. I'm running out of time. I got to head off to a dinner party. Time to go get cleaned up. So I think I'll just stop here and finish it up tomorrow in the morning when it's cooler. Okay, day 2. I finally got this Undercover Flex top on. It's kind of a learning experience. It's the first time I've installed one of these things, and now I appreciate why I always had them installed by somebody. If you follow the instructions, sometimes they're kind of they weren't the best, but there was a couple key things that you have to do in the right order, otherwise you got to kind of undo everything. One of them would be, for example, this spacer, which helps level the rail to the bed cap. And this basically goes, there's these brackets on 4 corners, and this kind of goes in between the bed cap and the bracket, the metal. And it really does help level it. And then, the reason I have this after the job's complete is I was installing the top, getting it all banged on there. I heard it drop out, and that was one of the design things that isn't the greatest. These are just sort of stuck up in there, and the idea is that the clamp is in that area, and when it sends the clamp down on the rail there, it should hold this in, but it fell out, and obviously I'm not going to undo everything just to put this back in. I mean, it's all working, so yeah, I mean, it was close, but no cigar on that. The other thing I noticed was, let me turn this camera around. The other thing I noticed was these are a little tight on the back here, the latches. But one thing in particular was, hold on. It's sometimes hard in the instructions to understand placement exactly, but for some reason I was trying to locate the edge of this kind of right here. I guess I was thinking that my bed door would go right up to this metal, but actually it closes right here at this guy here, right? So there's all this coverage, and so to get the latches to latch, you really have to bring this over into this metal area, but obviously not too far where the door's going to hit it, and then it potentially gives you just a little bit of leveling support too, because that plastic is kind of hitting that metal, and as it was, I couldn't get it perfectly level on both sides. Even in the instructions it said, if you got one of these plastic protectors on top, that you may have to kind of raise this anyway, so I think it's all right. But it's all working. These latches on the back, the others all latch pretty easily when you're closing it up, but these I kind of got to put my hand on each side and kind of give it a good slam. Probably over time as it works in, it'll get easier, but it's just the tightness, not perfectly level either, but it works. It seems like it's going to be okay. I'm not going to open it up and show you, but on the drain plug on this side, where that connects to the rail, there's a little spout that comes down, and when I went to lock down the front panel, I couldn't get the little lock thing over because the drain tube was in the way, and so for whatever reason I had to kind of move it forward, and for some reason on this side, I don't know, it's designed different, but I got it to work. I just had to kind of move it forward a little bit. Anyway, all in all, I'm sure I'll be happy with this as we give it some time and use. See how watertight it is. Here, I'll show you. I had to kind of give it a good, you can see where the latch is and the white there, and it's got to get under here. So that one wasn't too bad, not too bad of a slam. This one may be a little tighter, and it may be getting better as I use it, but yeah, that actually is getting better the more I'm using it, just in a few minutes I've installed it. But it looks good on a 2021 Ranger. The rubber will settle down with some heat. I had it kind of standing on the end, that's why it buckled up probably. But looking good. There's not as much room. I had a F-150 before this, a Roush, and close this up, give it the final look, and there's not really good under seat storage for some of my bags and stuff, so it became a necessity to have this, but I always like to have a topper anyway, but I'll definitely have to put my bags back there. Anyway, like I say, I'll do more videos of this truck and some other features on it. I really like it, and it's fit well with the man cave, joining the man cave club here. All right, more to come.